One of the questions that people have been asking throughout the ages is it better to be an extrovert or an introvert? The simple answer is, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Let me introduce you to two people, Ben and James. Now all you know about Ben is that he gets good grades and James plays football. Just from that information, can you tell who the extrovert is and who the introvert is? Most of you watching this have already labelled Ben as the introvert and James as the extrovert. Now to some extent this is true, but most of the reasons why you think that Ben is the introvert and that James is the extrovert is completely wrong. What does this tell us? This tells us that our society has put certain labels and characteristics on introverts and extroverts. So when I start describing these two people, you automatically start assigning stuff to Ben and James. When I said that Ben got good grades, you'd probably start putting these types of labels on him. He's socially awkward, he's a shut-in, he can't handle social situations, he's boring. And when I said that James plays football, you probably put these kinds of labels on him. He's charismatic, he's very interesting, he's outgoing, he's fun to be around. Now I'm not saying that these are wrong, I'm saying that these are stereotypical labels that everyone gives an extrovert and an introvert. So, what is the difference between the two? The first thing you must understand is that being an introvert or an extrovert is ultimately part of your personality. And the second thing you must understand is that regardless of what type you are, one of these will play a major role in your future. One of the questions that people have been asking throughout the ages is it better to be an extrovert or an introvert? The simple answer is neither one. Each personality type has its pros and cons. Each one does better in different situations. So then, what's the difference? Let's start by breaking down your average introvert. An introvert tends to be more laid back and reserved. Introverts hate small talk, and they would much rather have a deep, meaningful conversation with someone. Introverts love being alone or spending some quality time with a close person. If you go to an introvert and have a look at their social circle, you'll find out that their social circle is much smaller compared to your average extrovert. These relationships tend to be more deep and meaningful. Introverts only open up to a few people, and one of the more popular traits of the introvert is that they reflect and think out something before making decisions or taking action. Now there's a whole lot more to an introvert, but this is the main parts of being an introvert. The overall part of an introvert is that they would much rather be alone and to have a small group of friends that they can have deep, meaningful relationships with. Now, let's break down your average extrovert. Extroverts are more social. If you have a look at an extrovert's group of friends, it will be much bigger than your average introverts. Extroverts love small talk, and they love meeting new people and making new relationships with them. Extroverts open up more and love talking to new people. Extroverts also love getting the attention, whereas introverts would much rather be away in a quiet space. Extroverts make more decisions quickly than introverts. Again, these are some of the traits of an extrovert, but overall they are more social and love being around people. But the most important thing that separates extroverts from introverts is the way they both recharge their energy. Extroverts gain energy by spending time alone or with someone close. Extroverts, on the other hand, gain energy by being social and interacting with people. This is one of the main reasons why the stereotypes work. Most jocks and athletes in high school tend to be extroverts, and most of the most nerdy people in high school tend to be introverts. Now of course, certain jobs are better off for introverts and some are better for extroverts, but this isn't always true, because you can have an introvert that has extrovert behaviours and vice versa. But I don't have time for this to go over it in this video. The main things you should take away from this video is that being an introvert is not better or worse than being an extrovert, or vice versa, and that extroverts gain their energy by being in social situations, and if they are left at home, they'll most likely become bored and agitated, and that introverts gain energy by being alone and that they lose energy by being in social situations. That's all I have time for in this video. I hope that most of you now know the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. Let me know which one you are, and make sure you like the video and subscribe for more awesome videos.